Welcome! Today we're going on this incredible journey, a rapid-fire tour of the most complex machine in the known universe, our own bodies. So, let's dive right in.
Have you ever been in a doctor's office and they're explaining something and it feels like they're speaking a completely different language? You know, words like cardiomyopathy or hepatitis. They can sound pretty intimidating, but they're actually a secret code that's, believe it or not, surprisingly easy to crack.
So here's our game plan, our roadmap for this tour. First, we're going to decode that medical language. Then, we'll visit the body's control centers. After that, we'll check out the engine and pipes that keep us all running, tour the internal processing plant, and then we'll finish up with some just truly amazing facts.
Okay, let's start by breaking that code. And you don't need a medical degree to get the basics, I promise. A lot of these complex-sounding terms are just simple parts stuck together, kind of like building blocks.
Let's take the word hepatitis. It sounds complicated, right? But it's way simpler than it seems. The first part, hepa, that always refers to the liver. And the ending, itis, just means inflammation. So hepatitis is simply an inflammation of the liver. See? And once you know that, a word like arthritis, inflammation of the joints, makes perfect sense.
And this same logic, it applies to dozens of other terms. For example, an ectomy is the surgical removal of something, like an appendectomy. Ology is the study of something, so cardiology is the study of the heart. An oma often refers to a tumor, and a pathy tells you it's a disease, like neuropathy, which is a disease of the nerves.
The beginnings of words, the prefixes, they're just as important. Take hypotension and hypertension. They sound almost identical, but that one little vowel changes everything. Hypo means low, so hypotension is low blood pressure. And hyper means high, which makes hypertension high blood pressure. These little parts are the keys to unlocking a whole new vocabulary.
All right, now that we've got a handle on the language, let's visit Command Central, the brain and the body's huge network of messengers. This is where every single thought, every breath, every heartbeat, it all originates right here.
You can think of the brain as having these specialized departments. The brainstem is like the automatic pilot, handling all the vital stuff like breathing and your heart rate without you even having to think about it. The cerebellum, tucked away at the back, is the master of movement. It coordinates your balance and lets you do things like type or play an instrument. And the cerebrum, that's the big part on top. That's the CEO. It's responsible for all the higher functions like thinking, memory, and speech.
But you know, the brain doesn't work alone. It uses these amazing chemical messengers called hormones. These chemicals travel all through your bloodstream, and they regulate everything from your sleep with melatonin to your stress response with cortisol. They're basically the body's internal mail system, carrying critical instructions to every single organ.
And one of the most famous hormones of all is insulin. It's produced by the pancreas, and its main gig is to manage your blood sugar levels, making sure your cells get the energy they need. It's just a perfect example of a tiny messenger with a massive, massive job.
Next stop on our tour, the power plant. Let's take a look at the engine that never ever stops, and the incredibly complex network of pipes that deliver fuel and oxygen to every single cell in your body.
So at the very center of this circulatory system is the heart. This incredible muscle is just a relentless pump, beating about 100,000 times a day. It's the engine that pushes blood through this vast network of vessels, and it works together with other vital organs like the liver and kidneys to keep the whole system running like a well-oiled machine.
And get this, the heart even has its own electrical system. The SA node, it acts as the primary pacemaker, setting the rhythm. But if it fails, the AV node is right there, ready to step in as a backup. From there, blood gets pumped out to the body through the aorta, which is the largest artery, and then it comes back through the largest vein, the inferior vena cava. Of course, all that blood needs oxygen, and that's where the respiratory system comes in. Its main organ, the lungs, they work tirelessly, pulling in oxygen from the air we breathe and getting rid of all that carbon dioxide waste. They are the essential link between the outside world and our bloodstream.
Now let's meet the unsung heroes of the body, this internal team that works 24/7 in the processing and purification plant. These organs handle everything we consume, filtering out the bad stuff and putting the good stuff to use.
This team is an absolute powerhouse. First up, the liver, a master multitasker. It produces bile and converts harmful toxins into waste the body can get rid of. Then you've got the kidneys, which act as this sophisticated filtering system to clean your blood.
Then there's the pancreas, producing that crucial insulin we talked about. And finally, the spleen is like a quality control center, filtering blood and breaking down old cells.
After the food is initially broken down, the absorption assembly line kicks into high gear. The small intestine's main job is to pull all those valuable nutrients into your bloodstream. Then, the large intestine takes whatever is left, absorbs the water out of it, and gets the rest ready for removal. It's just an incredibly efficient system from start to finish.
All right, for our final section, we're going on a rapid-fire tour of the body's record holders. So get ready for some amazing facts and figures that really just highlight how incredible our bodies truly are. Let's start with a classic. Now, we're actually born with more, but an adult human skeleton is a masterpiece of engineering made up of 206 distinct bones. They give us structure, protection, and of course, movement. And those bones range dramatically in size. The longest and strongest is the femur. That's your thigh bone. And the smallest? That would be the stapes, a tiny, tiny bone deep inside your ear that's absolutely crucial for hearing. It's barely larger than a single grain of rice.
Okay, trivia time. When you think of an organ, you probably picture the heart or the liver, right? But what do you think is the absolute largest organ in, or maybe on, your body?
Yep, it's the skin. It's our first line of defense against the entire outside world. It helps regulate our temperature, and it covers us from head to toe. It's an organ we probably take for granted way too often.
And finally, here's some really practical information. These are the numbers doctors look at to get a quick snapshot of your health. A normal resting heart rate is somewhere between 60 and 100 beats per minute. We typically take about 12 to 20 breaths every minute. And that famous blood pressure number, the ideal is right around 120/80.
You know, from decoding its language to just marveling at its complexity, we've really only scratched the surface today. Every single second, your body is performing this symphony of trillions of silent operations. It truly is a universe inside of you. The only question left is, what will you discover about it next?